Dude got a calculator from the 1940s. For sure that way. That's the wrong hole.
That's the wrong hole.
My gosh, I don't even have nothing to say after that. So this is kind of funny. I posted a picture of, crap, Justin's got it stood up. Hold on. It is a stroker build, a 5.0, and my buddy messaged me and he's like, that's a pretty good joke. I was like, it's not a joke. It's actually a stroker kit. So there's a company called Cleggs or something. You know, up until this point, I've only ever heard of 4.6, 4.7 stroker, guess depending on the bore. So Justin owns the machine shop. It just makes too much sense to do this build. So we're going to unbox it and see what it's about.
I've been waiting for this moment.
I bet he has. It's been sitting here for like 3 months or longer, ain't it?
Yes.
Okay, open box. Got a high output water pump. I didn't even know them existed. Got the most expensive plugs that Rock Auto had. Crank, that's probably gonna be pretty simple. And then we got a bunch of stuff to open. And I don't even remember what I ordered. And what was I gonna say? Oh, that's the funny part. I don't know what this thing's even going in. We're building it, and I guess we'll put it on the stand and run it. And
I have to always ask people, what are you gonna do with this engine? Next, like, I have no idea what I'm gonna do with this engine.
So comment what we should put it in. I'm ready. As much as this stuff costs, I'm gonna say it's probably pretty hard to get into this box. Justin said it's heavy. Oh Lord.
Yeah, it's taped on every single corner.
I can just go cut. So it's a fold-up box. Why you got drug scales, Justin?
We don't talk about that.
Oh, we got progress.
What's it gonna be?
There's still more to cut. Dadgum. Shout out to these people. They know how to seal a box up. Whoop. Ah! That's some stuff.
For real?
Guys can pick that up later. So let's see. Rings. This is all Justin's needs right here. Let's see. I ordered injectors from them, and looks like injector adapters for the other plug. Cam button. Well, I never seen them do that. They took out some of the washers. And that's one thing. Let me talk to my dad real quick. Back to it. And the funny thing about this thing is the motor that, well, the block is my old pink Jeep. And I hope I can add a scene in here. We was at Cable Hill and I was on the river limiter so long, the crankshaft just broke off.
And the pulley.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God.
Hey, you might need that. It broke it.
It's a harmonic balancer.
So the block, 300,000 mile block, bulletproof. So all we needed was a crank, which we got it, and a bunch of stuff. So rod bearings. I thought we ordered King bearings.
We'll get some.
Cam bearings, Justin knows. I don't know this stuff. I don't do this stuff. That's probably mains, ain't it?
Probably.
Milling lifters. We've got our fingers crossed on them. Push rods. This is stage 3 cam, wasn't it?
Yes, stage 3 cam.
It's actually comp valve springs. I thought that was kind of strange. And these people don't know connection rods. Those are they're forged, aren't they? Scat cat. Pistons are forged. That's the main thing. And
Timing chain.
So, a lot of parts to be put together. Let's go show them your head. Is it done?
It's 95% done.
So, is this for it?
Yes. Don't.
Those are a lot of numbers. So, Justin found out he was just experimenting around, and I think he put a 4.0 valve this big, and then a 5.3 was just a little bit bigger, and then a 6.0 valve was even bigger. We thought we invented it, and it turns out the company that we got this stuff from when I called to order this stuff, they's like, why? What did they say?
They said, why didn't you include any valve springs with it?
Yeah, and that's what we thought we knew this, and actually they have been doing it, so we're behind the schedule. But Justin's got it all cut out with LS valve seats.
I've cut a 3-angle valve job, and I've got them cut out big enough for 6.0 valves.
I have no clue. It's a head, so that should be bigger valves, should flow. We're not buying a $2,000 something aluminum head for this build yet, and we didn't get aluminum rockers. We might end up with them, but like I said, I don't even know what I'm doing with this motor. So we'll keep on moving forward, unboxing stuff. So Justin said we're using LS valve springs, so these are for sale. I have no idea what they fit. Well, they fit a Jeep, obviously. $50. So it's funny, right here, smack dab on the box says, due to the 4-liter Jeep engine's poor cooling, along with lack of oil splash on the cylinder walls, didn't know that one. Cylinders can run hot, especially on the camshaft side of the cylinders wall. With this being known to run hot, these recommendations are listed. So that's on Justin over my head. There's a bunch of numbers. Yeah. Golly, there's warning labels on everything. And then right here, all this warranty disclaimers. There's like some serious stuff going on. Locks are inside. Why is this so heavy?
It's got the locks
Damn.
for the for the piston
So these are
wristbands.
forged. I've never in my life held a forged piston.
They're heavy.
I'm not gonna use a razor blade.
That's what when we started this build, I didn't know Dex was using forged pistons, so I bored the block to a normal piston. So now we got to go back and bore a little bit more out. Yeah.
5.0 Clegg stroker numbers. Clegg.
Shiny.
Finger press. So how's this well, they stroke it, but they had to dish it to make low compression, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we can JB weld it up, make it high compression?
You can make it stupid high compression.
Sweet. So this is what Justin needed to do the block. So that it for me? Can I go back to work?
Sure.
You got to bore the block, don't you?
Now I got to bore the block and hone it and all
Here's
that
the
good
block.
stuff.
Nothing to see. Is it?
That's your block.
This is it?
Yep.
You got the mains just laying here. What do they fall down?
It's not my problem.
So,
Not much to see. Like I said, I've already bored it, but I think I'm gonna have to take a little bit more out because we got forged pistons now, and
what
I'm
color should we paint it?
priorities.
All right, I'm gonna leave it with you. I was curious about the rods. I went and found my receipt. I doubt GoPro's gonna read this, but no, Scat 4340 forged brush rods with ARP bolts, fully floating. So, still got a problem with. I paid for Hastings rings and bearings and all that stuff, and King bearings, but we'll figure that out. Justin still got to bore something. Or what'd you learn?
Oh, that's what I was telling you a while ago.
Speak English.
Bore diameter is 3.905. That's standard bore. I think they already accounted for these being forged rods because it's 3.902. That's about 3 thousandths clearance right there. So I may not have to bore it out anymore. I just got to hone it.
Press 1 for English. The difference in forged and non-forged, they swell differently. So I think the company already got ahead of the program and made it easier on the normal engine builder. So I was driving by to go do some stuff, and Justin's like, hey, video me. So here I am. What do you got?
So we lucked out on this one. That's what I told Dexter earlier. I've cut this for just a standard 30 over bore because I didn't know what we was putting in here. Yes, it's rusted up and got spider webs, but
Looks like a race car motor.
but like I said earlier, they already accounted for these being forged, so they made them smaller than your standard 0.5 bore. So what I did, went through, measured all of them. I went with the biggest one. They're very close on all of them. But I set this gauge, and then I set this gauge off this gauge. And if you look, it says we need at least 3 inches, but on this one, being as it's a Jeep, they say we need a minimum of 4 inches, but if we're going to boost it, race it, we need a minimum of 5 inches. So,
Not planning on boosting this one. We got a lot of money.
oh yeah, right. So if you look over here, walk over here, This is just a rough cut. It has not been honed or anything. We already have about 1.5, close to 2 thousandths. This piston will already fit in this hole.
Oh, that's good. It'll run though, won't it?
No.
I come from the other side of the road. We do things differently over there, and my stuff still runs. So I got proven.
But anyway, we lucked out on that. So all we have to do is hone it now, but we still got to hone out about 3 or 4 thousandths. It'll take a good second.
He talks about all these numbers, and then like if you watch Steve Morris videos when he talks about thousands, we're talking like half a human hair. I know the stuff. I'm gonna let him do what he does.
So like I said earlier, they recommend 3 to 3.8, and they recommend 4 to 5. So we're gonna go to about 4 thousandths. So we're gonna get everything set up, and we'll start honing here in just a second. All right, so we've got everything set up. I've got my rough cut stones put on. I'm not going to go into full detail on how this machine works, but pretty much spindle on. This tells the top and bottom. See how it goes on and off. There's a watt meter below that and then a timer. Middle button controls how fast it goes up and down. If you want to dwell the top, dwell the bottom, that's what those do. So we're going to get started. One thing I will mention is about how the machine works is the whole purpose of the watt meter is as this thing's running and going up and down, you don't want this meter moving back and forth. If it moves one way or the other while you're going up and down, that means you have taper on the block. You want this gauge as straight up and down as you can get it while it's running. And the reason for that is as you're honing these, the hone itself is touching the middle of the block or the bore as it's going up and down in the center all the time, but it's only touching the top and bottoms in a split second there. So you have to be careful when you're doing these. I think this one's still, yeah, this one's still about 80 degrees versus some of these are 70. You want them about 70 degrees, but what I'm trying to say is the middle will heat up more than the tops and the bottoms. So when you're measuring these things, you have to go back and think the inside or the middle of this bore is hotter than the tops and the bottoms. So you have to give this block time to equalize out. Otherwise, you'll measure the middle right here, measure the top, and you're like, oh crap, it's not straight up and down. And then you'll go back and try to fix that. Well, by the time that you get done, you'll have an egg-shaped bore. So we've been going at it now for a little bit with the rough stones. We are now about a little bit over 3 thousandths bigger than the piston. So our target's 4. So I think we're going to switch over to a little bit finer stones now. Go ahead and turn my rinse washer on because we're about to be done with this block here in a minute. And we need to get all the oil off of it. Alright, so we swap back over to, we'll call it medium stones. We'll get within about a half a thousandth of what we want, and then we'll go to the fine stones to finish it up. I don't know if you can see here, but I noticed that my hones was making a weird noise when I was doing this. If you can look down in there, there's a little nub on just that cylinder. Broke my stones, so Dex, you owe me a new set of stones. There's a reason they call this boring. Okay, that took a little longer than I thought, but that's normal stuff. But we're getting close. We are, where are we at? Right at 4. And don't tell Dex, we're gonna put about a half thousandths more than what they recommend. We don't know what he's gonna do with this engine, but we got our finishing stones on. We're gonna finish this block up. So we are just about ready to go. I don't know if the camera will pick up the cross hatches or not, but everything turned out good. I ended up, let's see here, about 4.2. And I was going to take out a little bit more, but everything was going so smooth, and I've learned when things are going smooth, just quit while you're ahead. But either way, we'll get this thing set off in the washer, get it cleaned up, and we'll be ready to throw some parts at it. Oh, one other thing, I'm sure somebody's going to say something about me not using a torque plate on this. Torque plates for these are about $1,200. I don't build a lot of racing 4.0s, so I think it'll be okay. But if you want to buy me a torque plate, I'll put your name in every single video where I build one of these motors. Let's get this thing in the washer. But let's get her up on a stand. I'm about sweating. If anybody's wondering why I'm wearing these earmuffs, when you're blowing these little holes out, it's extremely loud. Your ears will be ringing. Ask me how I know. If you're wondering, yes, I do a bunch of Jeep engines, and I usually leave these locked into a Jeep bolt pattern. We're gonna get a little oil on the cylinder so they don't rust up on us overnight, and we'll get her finished, cleaned up, and all the oil galleys and all that cleaned out, and we will be ready to throw some parts at it tomorrow.
Help has arrived. I have no idea what Justin's been doing since I've been gone. The pistons don't look like they've done nothing. He said the block is ready.
The block is ready to go.
So
ready to throw parts at
I'm
it.
not a motor engine builder, not a motor engine. So I'm gonna figure out what we're doing. So Justin is doing cam bearings. He says they're fun. I don't have no part to do with that. And since I didn't order technically a full kit, I'm gonna be running back and forth to my shop like this thing right here. I need that O-ring. He's probably got it, but it's my motor, so I'm going to get my parts and whatever else I need.
This is my least favorite part of any engine build.
I don't even want to be around for that. So I went and robbed Justin's leftover engine parts. He, I guess he didn't put these in some of his customers' builds, maybe. No, I'm just kidding. It's just weird how you buy a whole kit and you only use some stuff. So, you prefer the blue or the gray gasket for the oil pump?
Definitely blue.
Okay, we're gonna go with the blue. And that is one thing I emailed Cleggs about, a high volume pump or just a standard. And I kind of already knew this, but I wanted to get their opinion. They said definitely a standard pump. Said the high volume with a brand new motor is just, there's no need in it. And that's like even my bouncer. I think race car motors you run lower volume because you're usually at a higher RPM. So it's sitting there, that's what they said that, well, we don't have the cam gear to show you. Said it puts a extra load on the cam gear and will break the cam or the distributor. So, little trick. This fun part. Yep. So, my job is to put an O-ring on this thing. I think I can handle that. Shouldn't be too bad.
Am I supposed to say something here?
You know how much money I got in this motor, don't you?
That's why I got the big sledge out.
Oh. Trying to install an O-ring over here. But I'm sitting there, usually I'm not too particular because the Jeeps don't really care, and then I remember how much money I got invested in this, and it's like, you probably need to like clean this stuff and get all the, yeah, you just need to do a good job on this one. Justin's still taking his sweet time on cam bearings. I done installed this whole thing. Look at these O-rings. They're not O no more. They're square rings. So I got my job done. I may take a break for just a minute.
I don't know if this one goes down in there or not, but
I've never seen anybody do this. He's filling the ports up. That drains down to the cam bearing.
it'll give it time to settle in. But
Yeah, it's just gonna seat. And that's what I did not video installing the cam because somebody always nags about how you do it. So the cam's in there. Y'all didn't see it.
it moves freely. Everything's great.
It's all good. Oh, that's what I was going to show you. My bouncer, the cam for it's like 850 thousandths lift. This is stage 3, and it's a whopping 480,000. So I don't know. Jeep's not a very high point. And what did you just say? Just LS?
I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100%. I had to go back and look. We're using stock LS springs to break this thing in because we're using LS valves on the head. Pretty sure stock LS springs are good for, would you say 400 and
480 lift.
480? I'm pretty sure they're good for that. So
Could be wrong. We don't know. So Justin got the cam in. We got some main bearings. Are these the King bearings?
no, these are Engine Tech.
Oh, hey, I didn't do that on this. I did a short video. I didn't do the full video. My bad. Hold on. This is pretty neat. I ordered Hastings rings and King bearings. Paid extra for them. And when I got the box, I opened it up, seen Engine Tech. And wherever something went. But I was kind of mad about it. And that's why I like YouTube. Y'all can watch short videos. People just flick to the next one. This is...
Here, I'll do it.
Yeah. These are the Engine Techs, and what it is, I emailed them and they sent me this information, and it's kind of shocking.
So these are King. You see their logo right there,
Matches King logo.
and these are Engine Tech. Same exact logo.
Same logo. So Engine Tech is a side company of King, however you want to say it, and that's what the rings too. He said that Hastings is the only company that makes rings in America. So there you go. Now, whether they put the sticker on there and lied, I can't provide that information, but pretty cool. Where we at? Open.
Crank up the
Oh, that's pretty funny. Justin giving me all the hard jobs for some reason. I looked over here. I thought it said fragile. It says eagle.
No.
Oh,
What was the one thing I put on here? Look here. I'm pretty sure they meant Salt Lake City. I just put a Y on there.
Oh, salty. How do these open?
You gotta, yeah.
Is it fold over or just straight pick up?
That one folds over, I believe. Stapled. Gotta be a man.
I think it's a pickup.
Oh, it is a pickup?
There's going boxes everywhere. There. Look at it.
Is it everything you expected? It is nice looking.
It is pretty nice. That's the nicest camo crank I've ever bought.
Alright, we're gonna
Why
get
is it green? Or
I've never seen that before. I
that's
don't know.
pretty neat.
Is that to channel the oil back that way?
Yeah,
Oh wow.
that's pretty cool. I've never seen that, but I assume they know what they're doing. Man, look at this. Got my name on it. They balanced it. I forgot. That's pretty cool. I have no idea what these numbers mean, but
We're gonna check it here in just a
I'm gonna put this in
second.
a picture frame. Careful. What you got there?
Big shiny chunk of money.
So, what did you just say? Oh, you scared me. It was wiggling like a skyscraper.
Oh, it'll be okay.
So he's running brushes through all the ports just to make sure that.
I have got some in before, especially remanufactured, that they didn't clean these holes out, and I can only imagine what that's going to do to a set of brand new bearings.
Yeah.
So,
And I've seen helicopters crash that had walnut shells in their oil passageway, so gotta make sure we're safe on that. No walnut shells. So I think Justin is getting ready for what they call plasti dip. Not plasti dip.
plastic.
Plastic gauge, same thing. It probably worked too. But we'll get this lined up. It's a pretty cool process, but that's not torque specs, is it?
No.
I don't think this is safe. Oh, it's
Mind your business.
what?
Mind your business.
In the video, it don't look like it's spinning, but it's actually spinning fast. I know you probably ain't gonna believe us, but after 20-something years of working on Jeeps, we've actually memorized the torque specs.
For just about everything.
Yeah. So what are you doing here?
So normally, for visual purposes, you know, I can't show you how I measure all these. So a lot of people hate on plastic gauge. It's a good visual for.
How long they been using plastic gauge?
It's been around for a long time. So that's what we're going to use to show you, show you that we are where we're supposed to be. But what I told Dex is when you do this, never put any oil underneath the bearings when you're laying this down, because that little thin film of oil can affect the measurement. So
Science stuff.
we get us a little piece right here. I don't know if you're going to video all this, but
You just cut it.
oh, that's right. Bear with me.
That's not the torque spec.
We're going to tighten her. I'm going to go about 40 or 50. And then we'll go all the way to 80.
Mine goes click, click,
Click,
click,
click.
click. Can't afford all this fancy stuff, so we're gonna get the boring part out of the way. We'll show you what happens after this.
So we torqued that one down, pulled the cap off, and if you can see this on camera, we're right at about 2000s, which is right where I want to be on this motor, because I want this motor to be a little bit looser. So go ahead, we'll check the rest of these, and then we'll get everything oiled up and move on from there.
Pressure washing a minnow trap.
Something like that.
We all have our own ways of how we do stuff. That's his way. Justin had the audacity to ask me if he could keep the sticker to go on his door. Heck no. Paid money for that sticker.
Who don't like stickers?
I like stickers, but I want to keep my sticker.
It's a nice sticker.
Okay, we're gonna keep rubbing this red stuff in and set the crank off in there. Justin, want to show you real quick about the rear main.
Well, this applies to just about any main, like, rotating seal. If you look closely, see how that's angled out this way, pushing against, that right there is what holds the oil in. If you go backwards like this, it's going to flare out and cause it to leak, because your pressure is going to be pushing back against that.
Trying to open the seal up.
Yep. So pretty much rear main, front main, any rotating seal, you want that angled back that way so it's pushing out on it.
I put them in the other way. They work just fine. No, I'm just kidding. You gotta do it for sure that way. That's the wrong hole.
That's the wrong hole.
My gosh, I don't even have nothing to say after that.
Me neither.
Justin said he gonna do this by himself. Heck no. I want to be partners when you drop it. Hold on, you're getting ahead of me.
I'm used to doing this by myself.
Works.
Works better by myself.
Spin.
That's one thing too. Never spin this with the caps off, because these will rotate.
Yeah. You try to just, it's so satisfying if you've built motors.
I was like, I want to do it every single time I set a crank in. I want to spin it, see if it spins, but
Just wait till you get, and that's one thing too, this is cool, I learned from a machine shop, and I didn't know this. I thought these things were called locks. They're not called locks, they're called alignment keys, because new stuff don't even have them. They're just smooth. When you torque the bearing caps down, that's what keeps the bearing from spinning. It's not the lock. That has nothing to do with the spinning part. So yeah, get them on there before we get an urge to spin it.
70. And then stage 3, 80.
So in all my years, I've only read the, what is it, not Clevite book. What's the book from parts stores?
Molly?
Whatever the book that tells you the torque specs.
Oh, Haynes.
Haynes manual, there you go. It always says 80 foot-pounds on there. I don't know where Justin got these. Somebody may have just made them up, but main cap stage
1.
stage 1 is 40, and then 70 and 80. So I admit, never done that, but I'll run them down until I feel like they're getting there, and then I'll swap up.
I feel like it's good practice.
Yep. And I just put all this ARP torque lube. So Justin's gonna torque the thing. All them. I ain't got a chair. I'm gonna sit there and do nothing. All right, so Justin finally got the crankshaft bolted down, or whatever you call it, torque. So it turns very nicely. Oh, that wasn't bad at all. What's next?
We gotta check the thrust in play.
In play. I didn't think that really mattered.
Does on this one.
Oh, it's a fancy tape measure.
Tape measure?
That ain't what you use.
Something.
All right, he gonna get that set up. I gotta clean the table. That's my job. Justin keeps asking me my in-play preferences. I don't know. All I've ever done is used. So what do we got?
We're sitting at about
It's my Toro.
3, 4. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think I moved it when I covered the name, but
And
oh,
one thing I told Dex that I never realized that an older guy showed me is when you set this, you're going to get a number right here. Usually it's a lower number, 1, 2, something like that. When you get everything set, you take a big rubber mallet, tap the end one time, tap the other end one time. Like when I say tap, give it a good hit. And that sets your thrust bearing. Because these aren't, they'll go on tight, but they'll still move in just a little bit. That way you know it's not going to collapse on itself.
I got to think about that. They're shaped like a C. So when you sit the C down on there, they kind of have to flare it out so to make it easier to get in there. But like I know a 4.7, it's a separate one. Like you put the regular bearing in, then you slide this in. So probably a different setup, but we're still good to go. So the forged rods, they come with ARP bolts. Well, his chart says 45 foot-pounds with the Molly lube. Well, I Googled it on my phone. I don't think y'all can read it. It says 40. We're going to 42. Just look at them. I don't know if that's a brass. Gotta be a brass insert right there.
All this money Dex spent on this motor, he couldn't afford a $12 pickup tube, so I gotta go make a cleaning for him.
I didn't know I was supposed to buy a pickup tube. It gotta work the same. So weird seeing things that you knew was there, but you didn't know what the cam. Nobody ever sees the back of the cam. Just kind of weird. Freeze plug goes over that. But that's the freeze plug that's always shiny, ain't it?
That's the one that's always shining. And there's another thing I want to remind. If you ever tear one down this far, do not forget this plug right here in the back.
That oil galley?
Yes. And you'll get completely done and go to pump this thing up, or worse, put it in the Jeep, and it's back there.
Quick tip.
And also this one too.
Oh, which one?
This one on the front.
I'm gonna say most people probably don't take them out, but I guess you do. But most, yeah. All this money on fancy stuff, and it's the bicycle chain one. I guess it works. I don't know, just figured it would be the new style. Justin gets to build pistons, and he gives me a bucket of old nasty bolts and says, pick out the ones we're gonna need and we'll wash them. It's just, yeah, I don't know what I need. I don't build motors. And now he's gonna send me upstairs to go find a valve cover. It's hot. I'll show you. Gotta go upstairs in his shop. God, feels like a heater blowing on me. I had no idea it was recording. Here it is. So valve cover. I think this is the one. Yeah. Gotta get rid of all this stuff. There it goes. Gonna give it a washing. I
finally put Dex in charge of one thing.
He don't want responsibilities of timing.
I ain't nothing to it, but come on.
You've done it more than I have. So, let's see. How do we do it? They point at each other.
Yep.
That's
I can spin this if you want me to. Tell me which way to go.
you can step back. And
Yeah, you dropped it. All right,
cut.
cut. Take two. I'm gonna help him this time.
I never did it this way. Like, here, let go. Can't see.
What do you mean you ain't never done it this way? How do you do it?
But usually not in my face, like down in a hole. There it is. When we get this bolted up, I want to teach you a secret.
All right.
Give me a bolt.
We gotta get the washer, so
Oh.
we'll be back.
So what they want you to do is point the dot to dot. Well, for me,
Easy enough.
dot to dot, but that gets you started. What you need to do is roll it over. I put T to torque it later on. So give me, well, we can do it on video. I was gonna paint these, but the bicycle chain gets 15 links. The timing chain, well, the transfer case chain, it gets 20. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We're right on the money. I counted to 15. Heck yeah. So got that one torqued to 80. The fine thread one torques to 80, and the coarse thread, that one torques to, what'd you say, 50, and that one torques to 80. Now pistons. Some nice looking pins.
They look expensive.
I don't know how much. Well, I bought this thing as a kit. I'll do a final total when the video's over. This company keeps confusing me why they sent me 8 pins. I'm not really sure. Justin showed me earlier these things pivot in there with no oil, smooth quality.
Very nice.
And they've got these style clips. They're fun. But I guess these is just as aggravating as the other ones, ain't they?
Well, I mean, technically, if they're press fit, though, you ain't got no option. So this actually gives you an option.
Yeah. So we're gonna get these put together. Probably a lengthy process. I don't know if GoPro's gonna catch this. I think we figured it out. We did not Google this. I 100% promise you. Let's see. Give me a second. Maybe y'all can catch this. So what I did was started about down there in the groove. Make sure it's in the groove. I got me just a little screwdriver, and take all your pressure on your thumb here. Yeah, just put on safety glasses. Other one went smoother. Oh, it's so close. Tip. Oh, there we go. So heck yeah, definitely aggravating, but maybe they're not coming back apart.
By the time that we get done, we'll get good at it.
Yeah, it's just like anything else. You do it once. Well, that's the second one I just did. So, hold on.
Oh, I ain't done one yet.
Yeah, Justin ain't got one done yet.
The screwdriver here.
These are definitely aggravating. So we got all the pistons ready. Now we got to put in rings. They're fun. Take forever. Justin said we actually got to gap them this time. Never done that. Justin asked me what I wanted my ring gap to set as. I don't have a clue. True story. Built a Recon one time as a kid. The thin oil ring there, I had no clue what it went to. I left it out. It smoked a lot. Found that out the hard way. Never did it again.
3.9.
Dude got a calculator from the 1940s. Hey, it works. Numbers. I'm gonna put the oil rings on. He's gonna do whatever he does there. Well, we're having a few technical difficulties, so I'm gonna go make a phone call, see how this works out, and if they don't take care of it, I'll tell you the problem. But if not, people make mistakes, so it's part of it.